right, folks, we are back. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to apologize to you folks. I'm just having such problems here. It seems like adjusting to the new format and kind of the new things that we're doing. But we're here, okay? And hopefully some of you didn't notice the delay in getting on, but we did it. Anyways, I want to welcome you all to the show today. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher and the face of Livin in Vegas podcast and the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. And exciting things going on this week, folks. I mean, so excited. Before we get to any of that, let's welcome some of our friends to the show, especially if you're watching us on, was it Facebook? Yeah, Facebook. So if you're watching us on Facebook, I want to say peace out. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And once again, I want to apologize to kind of screwing up the intro to the show. But, it happens. We'll get this right. We will. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we'll actually upload. On YouTube, you didn't even notice anything. Okay? It's just everything's peachy. So I want to welcome you all to the show. And if this is your first time watching the show, and you are on YouTube, please, right here, keep going in the wrong hand. Yeah, I still keep going wrong. Right here is the subscribe button. Please subscribe to the page. Okay, just subscribe to the page, and we would love to have you keep up with us every time that we are on the broadcast. Okay. And I posted a letter this morning, or I didn't. No, I didn't do it. I was going to post something this morning on Facebook, and I just, before we get to any of the things that are going on in town right now, I want to say to Facebook, please stop screwing around with the platform. Just stop. Just quit doing all the stuff that you're doing, because what you're doing is you're making it very unenjoyable to be on the platform. I just got to tell you. I'm just being very real about it. That if you, and I know other people agree with me, that each time, every week they update, they do something, and what that does is it just makes it unenjoyable. I have a business, and my business makes it necessary for me to have several pages on Facebook. Well, what Facebook has done is they've made each one of those pages that I've originated, making them profiles. So what that means is if you have a profile, only the owner of that profile can post to that page if that's the way you got it set up. And if I set up two pages, I cannot talk to either one of those pages from my original page. Okay? So I'm Sherman Ray. I cannot speak to Sherman Ray, a different page, and then Livin in Vegas, a separate page. I have to become that page in order to speak to it, which makes it tough. So, and it just takes forever. So anyways, and some of you probably understand this because that's probably what you're doing too. Anyways, I want to welcome you all to the page, to the pages that we're on, and we got some exciting things to talk about today. We really, really do, and I'm so excited about it. Before we do that, though, let's remind you, if this is your first time coming to the podcast, I'm Sherman Ray. Once again, I publish, this magazine right here called Livin in Vegas. The new one is coming out here in just a few more weeks, and you can check it out. Look forward to that. Also, if you go to our website, we're changing our website all the time. I mean, all the time. We're always updating that page. And we're going to be adding onto it a more formalized page where you can get swag. So you can get Livin in Vegas shirts, Livin in Vegas hats, tote bags, that kind of stuff. And we're working on that right now. So you can look for it right now, and you probably can find it. But we'll formalize it on the Livin in Vegas shop page, and you can actually get that. Also, we're going to have 702 clothing. Yes. 702 swag. And do I even have that? Do I have a picture of that up there? Let me make sure. Oh, maybe I do. Let's see what this is. Let's see, what is this? Okay, it's 11702 brand clothing. And, oh, there you go. You can see that. Let's make that a little clearer. Okay, so we have 702 clothing. So you can see this right here. Okay, 702 clothing. So looking really forward to that because I got a cool brand coming out. It's called 702 brand and our Livin 702 brand. Very excited about that. And so we'll have that on the page. You can buy it directly from our website at Livin in Vegas. Okay. So let's pay a bill real quick, and then we're going to talk about some of the cool stuff that's been going on this week. Okay. Very cool. Okay. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. We're back, folks. Hey, want to welcome you back to the show. Hey, one last thing before we get into the show today. This Saturday, I'm going to be over at the West Charleston Library, and I'll move over this way, and I'll move you out of the way. We'll be over at the West Charleston Library for the Constitution Day celebration, and that is put on by the Alliance Alliance for Education and Liberty. That is Brenda Flank's organization. So I'll be speaking over there, which I'm really excited about. So I won't be speaking, excuse me. I will be opening up the ceremony, which means, because I am now a preacher, it means I'm going to take some time. Just want to let you know right now, I'm going to take some time. I won't take a lot of time. I really won't. Maybe just a couple minutes. But want to open up the ceremony. Got quite a few speakers there. It's going to go from 11 to 1. So come on out to the West Charleston Library this Saturday from 11 to 1 for the Constitution Day celebration. It should be very exciting. If you didn't hear anything about this, folks, you can go to our website, livininvegas.com. You can check that out, and we'll get you more information on that. So what happened yesterday? Yeah, you know what happened. We all know what happened yesterday, folks. The Aces. I got a picture. Do I have a picture of them? Okay. So this is not the game yesterday. It's just a replay of what's happened. And over again. The Aces. Folks, so the Aces are one game away now from the WNBA championship. I'm so excited. And remember, folks, you heard it here first. How many of you remember that? Huh? Come on, I'm asking a question. I feel like I should put on a turban on my head, and I'll be the Swami, right? Talking about how the Aces were going to win the championship. I predicted it at the beginning of the season. I told you, folks, that they are on a collision course with destiny. It's like the what do they call it? Star Wars. Right? It's your destiny. And it was their destiny. They got a brand new coach, Becky Hammond, got a new swagger, and I just think that they're the best. I just always have. I've always been a fan of the Aces, and last year they got swept. This year ain't happening. We're on a collision course, and you know who it's a result of and why they're winning? One, A'ja Wilson. Okay, A'ja Wilson in the offseason got strong. She got a new attitude adjustment. She came back with a purpose. Okay, I think that's a good word for it. She came back with a purpose. But more important than that, even more important than Becky Hammond being the coach for the Aces. Even more important than Kelsey Plum, Dearica Hamby, you know, even more than all those people that are on the team. And we got a lot of supporting cast. The number one reason why the Las Vegas Aces are in the championship hunt right now, Chelsea Gray. Just saying. Just saying. Okay? All right. I will, full disclosure, I'm in love with her. I just love her to death. I think she is the beast. She brings out in the Aces something that they didn't have before. A swagger. She's the point guard. Okay, she's a point guard. She's just, and I love Kelsey Plum. I really do. But there's something about Chelsea Gray that just, and everybody knows it. She's in the New York Times today. They have an article on her in the New York Times today. And she's the only one on the Aces right now who has a ring, a championship ring. And she is hell-bent on making it number 2. Okay, just saying. So congratulations to the girls. So they beat the Connecticut Sun last night, 85-71. I did not get to watch the game. I was at church last night, but I did keep up with it. I know, God forgive me, that I did keep up with the game during church because you know what? I knew they were playing and I knew they were going to win, and it wasn't even like I needed to watch or keep up with it, but you know. Who else? What else is there? Okay, Jackie Young did great. Oh, she suffered a busted lip. Oh no. Okay. And I think that's the only person that actually got hurt. They said so. According to this article, which is the Fox 5 News, and got a couple of people who were hurt in the game. Jackie Young suffered a busted lip. Williams left late in the third with appeared to be a lower leg injury. Heidemann and Williams returned to start the fourth quarter, and Jackie Young returned earlier in the final period. And also, Chelsea Gray got hurt at one point. She left, went to the back, got a little shot, pump her up, and she's back in the game. So very exciting. Exciting game. What else happened? So I know I could talk about the Aces all day long. I really could. It's just, I'm so excited. So they're going to play again Thursday. So tomorrow. They're playing again tomorrow. They'll be on the road. So they won't be in the house, but I'll be watching it. Okay, I'll be watching that game tomorrow. Well, I won't be able to watch the game tomorrow, too. I'll be at practice. But somehow or another, I'll get to watch that game. I really will. So there was another article, and this is, I think this is of interest to people here in Las Vegas, is that they have an inspector who's going around, and the inspector is actually checking on fuel quality and whether or not the gas stations are in compliance. So yearly, there's an inspector who goes around, or an inspection team that goes around, and they check all of the gas stations to make sure that you've got what you pay for. And this is actually pretty cool. So 10 inspectors worked through the Department of Agriculture's Division of Measurement Standards to test every station once a year. And the guy who's the supervisor of the group, his name is Kip Blauer. And he said that they inspected how many? I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of stations. I know they had about 25. They had 108 complaints throughout the year. 35 involved the accuracy of a gas pump's meters, the device that measures how much gas is going into your tank. And many of you probably all think, you kind of look with that side eye. Am I really getting as much gas as it says I'm getting? And they said, you know what? They have found one complaint that actually had merit. So out of the 35 meter-related complaints, inspectors found just one pump with a problem, meaning that it was out of compliance. And they say the reason why you generally don't get the water in there, you don't get the wrong meters, you don't get this, blah, 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 or get a lower grade gas than what that it says on the sign. They say the fines are so high that, for one, the fines are so high, and another one, that there are two pipelines that go to the trucks. One is completely turned off. So if your truck says leaded or unleaded, and the other one says premium, that's what you're going to get. So so they've done all these great tests and everything. So it's a great thing. 2,500 gas samples, and they said out of the nearly 2,500 gas samples, including several types of fuel, 14 were out of compliance. 14. That's not bad out of 2,500 gas samples. Wow. Okay. So it's a great thing to see. So I've got an error. All right. Now there's a story about the medical district. Many of you have heard about the medical district that has been in the works for many, many years. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. And I really want to call this, I won't tell you who the article is by. I will tell you that it is false. Okay? That they gave, and once again, I want to say this, full transparency. I ran for City Council Ward 1, where the medical district is. So I know about the medical district. The medical district was in the planning phases well before I ran for office and before anybody who is in city government right now is even in. So before Victoria Seaman was in there, before Brian Knudsen was in there, before Cedric Creer, before anybody who's in there currently, the medical district was in the works already. Okay, so I want to say that. Well, this article is saying that Brian Knudsen was the one that started this whole thing, and he wasn't. They quote that he had as a sick child, which he did, and that the child had problems. Yes, they did, but he was not the reason why they decided that the city of Las Vegas decided to have a master plan to have a medical district. That's just not true. So when you read this story, and I may not even post this. As a matter of fact, I won't, because it's just false. And we don't want to lead you astray. This was proposed many years before Brian Knudsen even thought about running for office, I would assume. But that's just the way it is. But they are going to start. Now, here's the truth in this article, though, is that they're going to start, and you're going to start seeing some major renovations in that medical district area. For those of you who don't know where the medical district is basically Alta on the north, Charleston on the south, basically I-15 on the east side, and on the west side, basically all the way up to Valley View. Okay, so it's a big, narrow area, but that's where it is. That's in proximity overall. That's where it's at. The bulk of it is going to actually be where the UMC Medical Center is right now, that area. Shadow Lane, that kind of Alta, that kind of stuff. And so it's a huge swath, and so it's going to be really dedicated to and encouraging more medical education, hospitals, treatment, that kind of stuff. Right in that area right now, the UMC is the only trauma center in like the state of Nevada, and so it's big. As a matter of fact, we did this story about it, and I'll move on because I know we're going to run out of time. Is when UMC first started, it actually got started in that area, but the area was actually, and it's such a cool story. I don't have time to tell you. But it was actually a dairy farm that was right there first, and then they they sold off part of that land to the first hospital. It was not called UMC, so it was called like the Las Vegas, because it was actually an indigent hospital that was first started right there. So we'll do a story on it because it's very cool. It's such an interesting story. My mom used to work there many years ago when it was called Southern Nevada Memorial Hospital. So we'll do a whole story on it. Let's move on to something else, though. Looks like the health district is now offering flu vaccines, which is great. So if you'd like to get a hold of a flu vaccine, the Southern Nevada Health District is going to be doing that. So we'll leave links to all of these stories, folks, and many, many more on our website at livininvegas.com. And that's livininvegas.com. So you want to check that out. Now, there's a disturbing story that I've got to tell you about. Is you guys remember last year, I believe it was, there was a lady by the name of Fatima Mitchell. And Fatima Mitchell got upset at some little girls walking to school, and she took her car, and I guess she took umbrage to maybe something they said or whatever. She used her car. She hit them with her car, resulting in broken bones, probably some scrapes. Well, she got probation as a result of that, which is like, what? So, evidently, she's back in the news. A mother who was previously sentenced to probation and mental health treatment for intentionally striking two girls with her truck, her SUV, near Las Vegas area high school, has pleaded guilty to misdemeanor battery for scuffling with a jail guard. Fatima Mitchell, we mentioned her name, remains in custody Tuesday pending sentencing for the August incident at the Clark County Jail. Her sentence is expected to be folded into her 3-year probation and treatment at residential behavioral health crash. Okay, so here's my issue. Fatima should be taken off the streets. There's no doubt about it. This lady's got some issues. And I hope that they really do something before she really hurts them. Because she nearly killed 2 little girls with her SUV. And that's no juju. That's no good juju. There's nothing good. There's no good juju that accompanies somebody taking a truck and intentionally trying to hit your little girl. Okay, that just doesn't work that way. It just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And once again, I want to welcome, I guess I should go back. I want to welcome anybody who's come onto our Facebook page and you're checking out the page, you're checking out the show, that kind of stuff. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine, and I want to welcome you to the show. If you have a shout out, then shout it out. Go ahead and say something. Say hello. I will say hello back to you. I'll even mention your name on the podcast. Okay, so don't even hesitate. I can see you, so I can see you. I can see where you're sitting. I can see you drinking coffee right now. No, I can't. But so let's pay one more bill. We got one more story that we want to talk about, folks, and it's a doozy. So we'll be back in just a second. This is Sherman Ray. This is Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll be right back. Hi everybody, it's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, we are back, folks. All right, in the last couple of minutes we have left, got 2 big announcements. Well, actually 3. So once again, I want to remind you, folks, this weekend I will be over at the West Charleston Library for the Constitution. Let's go ahead and put this picture up there. There you go. For the Constitution Day celebration, I'll be at the West Charleston Library between 11 and 1 p.m. So if you want to come out and you want to say hi, Sherm, high-five me, that kind of stuff, I'll be there, folks. I'm very approachable. I really am. I will probably talk your ear off, and I might even go home with you. Kind of like a Labrador retriever, but I will be there. And I'll be opening up that ceremony. Brenda Flank, thank you so much for being a part of that and inviting me out. So I'm looking really forward to that. Also, you can let that, there you go. Also, the Rebels are going to be playing this weekend. Hey, folks, there's some cool stuff. They're going to be hosting North Texas at noon on Saturday. So the Rebels will be hosting them, and they are actually offering a free tailgating stuff. We actually posted this. I believe it's still on our website. Let me check. I'll check on our website if it's actually on our website still. But we posted this on our website where the Rebels are. Let me see. I want to double check here before I screw myself. Yeah, free tailgate at Thursday. Oh, that was at Thursday's soccer game. Oh, so tomorrow. So you can actually check out Thursday's soccer doubleheader, free tailgating there, which will be cool. And then on Saturday, they are hosting. Who did I say they were? North Texas at high noon. And then on Sunday, folks, it's the Raiders. The Raiders are playing, folks. They're playing against the Cardinals. Both teams are 0-1 right now. And the Raiders game was much closer against San Diego than the Cardinals games against Kansas City. Kansas City rode them like they didn't care about them. They beat them like they stole something. I got a million of them, folks. So the Cardinals got beat pretty bad, and the Raiders are actually, they beat themselves against the Chargers. They just did. So that game it's our first home game of the 2022 season, so you can check that out. The game starts, what, is it noonish or 1 o'clock game? 1:45 or 1:25 over the Allegiant Stadium. And you can check that game out. Should be a bon boina. So it should be a fun game. You can actually check that out. Also, tomorrow, or is it tonight? The Aviators are playing tonight. Yeah, Aviators are playing tonight. And they're playing at home over at the ballpark, which will be great. Who else is playing? And then, once again, tomorrow, the Aces are playing. Folks, this is for all the marbles, or all the dice. So this one's for all the dice. We could sweep these guys. We could sweep the Connecticut Sun tomorrow night, fulfilling the prognostication that I, yours truly, predicted at the beginning of the season. I'm not even going to be humble about this, folks. I told you. I told everybody. I put my reputation on the line. And I was right. So, I know. I'm obnoxious that way. I can be very obnoxious. And so I want to thank you, folks. Thank you for being a part of the show today. We'll be back again Friday for another show where I will gloat even more about the... I know. I am so obnoxious. I will gloat even more once the Aces win. If you want to know any more about what's going on for Livin in Vegas podcast, you want to be on the magazine, all this other stuff, you can just check us out at livininvegas.com or write to me at info@livin, with no G, livininvegas.com. Okay, info@livininvegas.com. We'll take care of you, okay? It's been Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll talk to you again Friday, 8:30, where we'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of Livin in Vegas, folks, think living local and the return of cool. We'll see you again. Peace. Bye-bye.